Thank you for joining us to celebrate the ribbon cutting and celebration.
Sorry.
That's okay. And completion of the new improvements to the Martin Luther King Park here in District 2. My name is Desiree Salmon. I'm a senior landscape architect with Public Works. This project was part of the 2017-2022 voter-approved bond program. We're also here to officially dedicate new and incredible public art, greeting park visitors and representing a rich cultural heritage and history important to District 2 and the entire San Antonio community. Before we cut our ribbon and visit the public art, I have some folks with me to say a few words to start off the celebration. District 2 Councilman Jaylene McKee Rodriguez is here. Parks and Recreation Department Director Homer Garcia is here. Arts and Culture Department Interim Executive Director Crystal Jones is here. And our artist is here. Caldrick Dow is here. At this time, I'd like to invite Councilman McKee Rodriguez to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you. Everybody, it is cold today, and yesterday was leg day, so my legs are killing me. But I'm so glad we all could be here today. I know it's been a long time coming. We've been waiting to do an event like this. So thank you all for joining us. My name is Jaylene McKee Rodriguez, and I have the privilege of serving as councilman for City Council District 2. I'm pleased to help lead our community in the official grand opening of our new and improved neighborhood park and public art dedication for communities and neighborhoods here in District 2. Voter-approved bond dollars fund 180 capital projects across San Antonio, and the 2017-2022 bond program is currently the largest 5-year bond program in the city's history, until a few months from now. In District 2, bond dollars are helping to fund 18 different capital projects, 10 of which are park projects just like this one. And as we move forward together as a city and community beyond the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important to note how crucial park spaces like this are towards protecting and nurturing the overall health of ourselves, our families, and our neighbors, both physically and mentally. Our parks give us the health, wellness, and play spaces we need to do this. Investments in park spaces like this also help San Antonio advance towards an equity-based community. And in the neighborhoods surrounding this park, 95% of residents identify as persons of color, with Black and Hispanic residents being the largest minority groups in the area. Residents living in neighborhoods around this park space also earn a median annual income of less than $27,000 a year. And between 19 to 33% of residents in this area may only have just a high school diploma or less in terms of education, a fact which can impede their opportunities for higher paying jobs with health insurance benefits and higher qualities of life for themselves and their families. We can begin to understand how economic and educational disparities in this community make park spaces like this one even more of a critical public resources for families and children, especially those considered economically at risk. It also goes without saying that this park honors the life, memory, and enduring legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, a historic figure of the 20th century civil rights movement. Dr. King himself once said, "Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in." And here today, we as public servants, park supporters, and community allies aim our combined energy in service of that humanity that Dr. King envisioned. And the struggle we take on is one we gain ground on each day through achieving our equity-based goals and improve successful outcomes for everyone. I want to thank the city's Public Works Department, Parks and Recreation Department, and Arts and Culture Department for their collective hard work, expertise, and diligence in bringing new park improvements and public art visibility to this park space for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman McKee Rodriguez. This project was funded by the the 2017 bond program in the amount of $3,749,560. Bond funding helped provide a new park splash pad in that direction with dedicated restroom, a new parking lot with low-impact development, a new trailway running along the south side of the Salado Creek Greenway, a nature pavilion here with dedicated restroom and parking lot, and both a fishing node and an overlook node also located on the Salado Creek Greenway. The project also included a partnership with the Office of Sustainability, which resulted in the change out of 71 old light fixtures to new energy efficient LED light fixtures. I'd like to recognize our design team, contractor, and project management team who worked to make these park improvements a reality. Our design consultant was Half & Associates, Luis Cardona, Brian Brankowski, and Jennifer Ramos, former D3 councilwoman. Thank you, Half & Associates. Thank you. Our project contractor was Guerin Construction, Larry Alderete, Kenny Hunt. Also on the team were Ramon Garza in the back, in the red, and Craftsman, and Corey Soderberg, and they were key in getting the splash pad designed and built. Thank you. Our Public Works team, Razi Husseini, Director of Public Works, Rodney Juke, Capital Programs Manager for Public Works, Pat Schneider, Project Manager for Public Works, who oversaw all of the design, input, and construction tasks. Thank you to Councilman McGee Rodriguez and City Council for their continuous support and leadership, and thanks to Parks and Recreation and the Arts and Culture Department for your combined coordination and guidance and support. And thank you to the public. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite the Parks and Recreation Director, Homer Garcia, to the podium.
Desiree, thank you. And I apologize if any of this is a repeat, but I do want to begin with thanking Councilman McKee Rodriguez for your support and leadership of our park system, and really the community that came out and voted and supported the bond so that we can bring critical projects like this to our growing park system. You know, one of the things that we've seen more than ever before in the midst of a pandemic, and now we're speaking to it in terms of an endemic, it's the connection to green space. And in this particular project, you know, we talked about how there's so many amenities that were constructed, but I think the coolest part of it is you don't see it from standing in one spot. You literally have to get out into MLK Park and explore to find the splash pad or the fishing nodes. And that's what's really cool about it, because sometimes we come into a park space and you can see the pavilion that was constructed or the basketball court. In this instance, when you look at the thoughtful planning process that was really and began with vision from the community, bringing that to life, it resulted in what we have today. And so when we think about connecting community to nature, people to each other, this park is a great example of that. And you know, when I was talking to Sue Calberg before we came up and this event started, and she was asking me, you know, what's a bright spot right now for Parks and Recreation? And I said, it's the very reason that we're here today. And then it's going to be the next ribbon cutting, wherever that takes us. So the bond presents an opportunity at each and every moment to celebrate the success of our park system and each other and everyone that comes out to support it. I also want to talk about and highlight another really cool aspect of our park system is where we get to marry public art with park projects. We know we have a very popular Bloom series on our hike and bike trail system, but we see other great examples of public art in our parks. And so without further ado, I don't want to steal Crystal's thunder, but I would like to ask Crystal to come up and say a few words and talk about that great partnership as we continue to build parks together.
Thank you, Homer. Well, thank you so much, Homer. And Homer really speaks right down to it that this is a wonderful partnership with many city departments to make projects like this happen. And he also spoke a lot about community and how it really takes a community to come together to create green spaces and also celebrate public art and art as a part of those spaces. And we did see the same, that public art was of key importance during this pandemic, and also connecting people to green spaces and bringing world-class art right to them, that accessible piece where you don't need a ticket to see public art. It's just right here in your own backyard. And I'm really excited, before I bring him up, I'm really excited that our artist, that as you drove in here, you saw the Spheres of Reflection sculpture, which is just unbelievable. From every different angle you look at it, you just see a different reflection of yourself, a reflection of our community. I'll let him speak more about the process for that, but he really worked one-on-one with our community members to see what themes people wanted to see through this sculpture, what even verbiage that could be used through this sculpture to inspire others. And he certainly has done that, and he can tell you many stories about people who have already been inspired by this wonderful sculpture. And in fact, it's a sculpture that the New York Times called a must-see. So you're getting that first glimpse before the world starts to travel here and see it for themselves. In the spirit of that collaboration, it takes many people again to make public art happen, so I'd really like to recognize some key people that help make this happen. We have Jordan Patrias, who is the project manager on this particular project. Jordan, will you please stand up? I hate to make everybody stand up, but we also have Veronica Ripple. She's our public art program manager. She's leading our team. And we also have Kimberly on the team here, Kimberly Morales. And we have Alyssa Franklin here. So I really want to recognize them because they work very diligently to make sure that art can be accessible to all members of our community, and also that we have a wonderful world-class art like you've seen today. And in fact, this sculpture is a really unique sculpture where we are working with artists who may not have done sculpture pieces before. And so this is Caldrick's very first public art piece, a sculpture that we have really enjoyed working alongside him to create. And in that creation, we had a number, again, of community partners. So I really want anyone who's here that represents these partners, I would like you to stand up. So we have Bridge Projects here. And we have Keeley Construction, Metal Tech, and Travis Industries. And so these are the folks that really helped fabricate, install the piece, and really have Caldrick's vision come to life. And finally, again, thank you so much to our Parks and Recreation Department, our Public Works Department, to the Councilman's Office, and also to our wonderful partners with the San Antonio Arts Commission, who work alongside us to make projects like this happen. And we have represented here today, we have Frida Facey, who is also the chair of our Public Art Committee for the Arts Commission, and we have Suhail Arastu. So thank you so much for all being here today. And after we're done, I'm really excited for you to take a little walk with us and see this a fantastic piece. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Caldrick up to talk about his wonderful artwork.
All right, thank you, Crystal. So this project has been really great to do. For a community like this, it's really great to see everybody come together to create infrastructures and pavilions and all of these great things that's created, because you don't get that a lot in a community like this, and every community deserves something like this, right? So my part was creating this sculpture of kind of my design and MLK kind of ideology infused. And I'm proud to be able to create it, something that's such a staple now that I see as a staple in the community, that represents the community along with this other infrastructure that's here. I'm proud to place that in a community to where people feel proud of it. I'm also, during this process, there was like a lot of hands touching this sculpture, right? So you got Bridge Projects, the Keeley Construction, the city I couldn't have did it without it, because they really showed me the process as, the Sketch to Sculpture program, sorry. So it was the first of the Sketch to Sculpture program, and so I'm a 2D artist, I paint African Americans very well, sculptures not so much. So I had to have a lot of hands really helping me with this, and with everybody helping, we created a beautiful sculpture that I think the community really embraces. There's people coming from Austin, Houston to come see this, and it means a lot to people from different cities. Thus, meaning it means a lot to people who's in this community, which a lot of people come out there. One of the biggest impacts of that I wanted this sculpture to do was touch people, right? Was for people to see that they were represented in something so large and grand as a sculpture, right? Because that was something that influenced me to create art. So Boys and Girls Club being next to it, who knows how many artists is going to inspire, right? Young artists to create something. So it's been a huge pleasure, and I'm glad that it's up, and it's been great making it. I hope to do more around the city or different cities. And I'm glad that it's here, and I'm glad that, we are going to continue to create more sculptures, and I think that it's going to be a staple for the community. So I thank everyone for coming out and checking it out, supporting.
Thank you, Caldrick. Thank you, Crystal. Once again, thanks again to Councilman McKee Rodriguez and District 2, to Parks, Public Works, and the Arts and Cultural Department. And thank you everyone for braving the cold to come out today. Let's go ahead and cut the ribbon, and then I think we'll take a walk and go look at the art, okay, the art piece by Caldrick. Thank you.
Input from us, he listened, he was here along the way, he took my phone calls, he took my pictures, he took my input. This is a better project because he is a better manager, and everybody ought to give him his own round of applause.
Yay.
I know. Sure, they wouldn't give us these in school.
No, they wouldn't.
Chad, can you count? Can you count for us?
How about before we do the countdown, y'all just smile and
Just act like we're doing it.
A little photo op real quick. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Okay, y'all can do the countdown.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
I almost missed it. Get a little slice.
Keep a piece for your office.
Everyone gets together.
Oh, you taking them back?
I know. Okay,
I needed the left-handed scissors, but I made it work.
Are you left-handed?
oh my gosh.
I didn't even know which direction.
I made it work.
Yeah, just slice.
I'm just teasing you, man. You did fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll need to follow you offline in the context of looking at I think it's a critical project.
Right.
Which one?
Start.
We're gonna walk over to this.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sitting on it, so kind of just.
So, just some beauty shots.
I didn't know what are we doing now? This?
Good work today, Gus.
city. I'm not sure. This part is not entirely. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you could come out.
Look at this. You can't walk on it for very long.
There's a parking.
I drove by and I mean, it really is.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
I thought I might have heard King's.
That's what you said to everybody.
No, now I think I'm like, I don't know how to get
Have you seen it before in person? Is this the first time? He said that made me. Hi, how are you? This is what we did today, or what we announced today. The Stargate.
But a long time I'm gonna walk out. How we do. But I will. I should. I'm on the film wonderful.
Mine, but I'll drop your lines. Have mine. Are you gonna walk this way? That way we can catch some. Okay. You got it. Thank you.
This is park safe. Shannon and I are
That beautiful sculpture, you know, you want to keep that.
We don't terrorize each other. Good seeing you again. You take care of yourself. We'll be in touch, I'm sure. You know, you can always call. Adios.